Kamala Harris's Democratic convention was tightly scripted around a handful of values. As a sign of the event's success, this impressive photo seemed to embody and amplify most of them.
In this photo by Todd Heisler for the New York Times, we see Amara Ajagu watching her great aunt, Vice President Kamala Harris, deliver her acceptance speech from the front row at the Democratic Convention in Chicago on August 24, 2024.
One of the things that's interesting about this photo is that in many ways it visually echoes other representations of Kamala Harris that we've seen in recent years in popular culture, particularly an image of Kamala with the shadow of Ruby Bridges. This image was created in 2020 by the artist Bria Geller, and it features Harris walking in the foreground, striding along a sidewalk, and her shadow is not her own, but it is that of the child Ruby Bridges, whose walk to integrate her grade school was famously pictured by Norman Rockwell in the 1964 painting, The Problem We All Live With. This image went viral because it linked Harris to the civil rights era in a way that highlighted how far we have come as a nation. Harris herself very famously spoke about her own experience as a child being bused to her Berkeley, California elementary school as part of a late 1960s integration plan.
The photo employs a vertical composition with these amazing leading lines that guide our eye from bottom to top while creating a strong sense of depth and connection between foreground and background elements. At the bottom, the foreground silhouette of Amara outlined against the brighter background creates a powerful visual anchor that immediately draws the eye. Then the middle section features this vibrant blue gradient with horizontal stripes, and these lines act almost like stair steps, guiding the eye upward toward the podium. Then the podium's base is shaped with converging lines, further directing our attention to the speaker. The American flags on either side of the podium create a frame that funnels the viewer's gaze toward the central figure. Then you have the smiling and animated Harris at the top of the image, serving as the ultimate focal point where all the visual elements lead. So this photograph is really a guided visual experience of all the themes that the Harris campaign was trying to convey.
It's a photograph that's presidential, but it's really missing the trappings of masculinity, which is wild when you think about it. The flags, the podium, the stars projected on the wall behind Harris, these all highlight the official nature of the proceedings, and they certainly cue the institution of the presidency. But I would argue there's nothing inherently masculine. Yes, Harris is in a suit, but she's sporting a feminine bow, feminine hairstyle. She's wearing makeup. And Amara is in a suit, but her suit was pink and she's wearing braids in her hair. And so I think a big part of the appeal of this photo is that it's a photograph about leadership that's entirely about girls and women. There's an additional element here that's important to recognize given J.D. Vance's ongoing attacks on Harris as a so-called childless cat lady. And more seriously, his insistence that women who choose not to have children don't deserve a voice in our government. We know Harris is a stepmother, so she's technically not childless. But Harris is also great aunt to Amara and her sister Leela. We saw the two girls appeared on stage with the actor Kerry Washington to support their great aunt during the convention. So in that specific sense, the photo really is also about intergenerational relationships among women that exist and that matter outside of motherhood.
Echoing the convention's themes of aspiration, progress, and generational change, the picture powerfully speaks to diversity in leadership, women breaking barriers, political engagement, and a focus on hope, the future, and the empowerment of youth.